Candidate Conundrum. Who Wants Your Vote? By James Poyner. Early voting for the federal election is getting set to open following the Easter holiday, and as we approach May 3, people are becoming more familiar with the policies, pledges and promises of major parties, minor parties and independents. The municipalities of Manningham and Nillumbik are divided between parts of 5 federal districts: Menzies, Jaga Jaga, Casey, McEwen and Deakin. The big change this election is the fallout from the abolishment of the seat of Higgins. The loss of the seat has caused a ripple of significant redistribution. The suburb of Box Hill, which was formerly part of Chisholm, saw most booths voting Labor in 2022 and is now part of Menzies. Equally, Donvale, Park Orchards and Wonga Park, whose booths had voted in favour of the Liberals in 2022, are now part of Deakin or Casey. So now Menzies, which has historically been a safe Liberal seat, is considered a notional Labor seat. Who are the candidates? Below is a district-by-district breakdown of who is running for the Legislative Assembly. Menzies, encompassing most of the municipality of Manningham, Doncaster, Doncaster East, Templestowe, Templestowe Lower, Warrandyte, Warrandyte South and Bulletin, as well as Box Hill, Blackburn, Surrey Hills and Mont Albert in the municipality of Whitehorse. Large parts of Donvale and Park Orchards have now become part of Deakin, and residents of Wonga Park are now in the seat of Casey. North Warrandyte is now part of Jaga Jaga. There are 8 candidates running for the seat in the lower house. They are, in order on the ballot paper, Amanda Poliaris, Trumpet of Patriots; Bill Pheasant, Greens; Keith Wallahan, Liberal; Stella Yee, Independent; Joshua Utoyo, Libertarian; Anne Seeley, Family First; Gabrielle Ing, Labor; Jet Edward Scott, Pauline Hanson's One Nation; Jaga Jaga. Marking its southern and western boundary as the Yarra River and Watsons Creek, the Nillumbik suburbs of North Eltham, Research, North Warrandyte and a large part of Kangaroo Ground are in Jaga Jaga. The only significant change to the district since 2022 is the inclusion of North Warrandyte. There are 7 candidates running for the seat in the lower house. They are, in order on the ballot paper: Abdi Muhammad, Independent; Ray Rancy, Family First; Chris Parr, Liberal; Jai Sandford, Greens; Chris Kearney, Independent; Leslie Ralph, Pauline Hanson's One Nation; Kate Thwaites, Labor. McEwen. Due to its regional setting, the seat, 2,288 square kilometres, is much larger than its urban neighbours of Menzies and Jaga Jaga. The Nillumbik communities of Diamond Creek, Wattle Glen, Hurstbridge, Yarrambat and parts of Panton Hill and St Andrews form part of this district. There are 9 candidates running for the seat in the lower house. They are, in order on the ballot paper: Ali Antonio, Gerard Rennick, People First; Tom Forrest, Legalise Cannabis Australia; Gilo G. Valencia, Family First; Marley McRae McLeod, Greens; Chloe Nicolosi, Animal Justice Party; Jeremy Johnson, Pauline Hanson's One Nation; Jason McClintock, Liberal; Erin McGrath, Fusion Party; Rob Mitchell, Labor. Casey. Casey stretches 2,624 square kilometres across the Yarra Valley, now taking in the Nillumbik communities of St Andrews, Panton Hill, Bend of Islands, the Christmas Hills and Wonga Park in Manningham. There are 8 candidates running for the seat in the lower house. They are, in order on the ballot paper: Philip Cortis, Trumpet of Patriots; Ambia Lavori, Pauline Hanson's One Nation; Chloe Bond, Animal Justice Party; Dan Nabauer, Family First; Merrin Blair, Greens; Naomi Oakley, Labor; Claire Ferris Miles, Independent; Aaron Violi, Liberal. Deakin. As part of the redistribution, the suburbs of Donvale, Park Orchards and Ringwood North are now part of Deakin. The electorate follows Maroondah Highway from Blackburn to Croydon North and includes Forest Hill, Mitcham, Vermont, Nunawading, Kilsyth, Croydon and Warranwood. There are 8 candidates running for the seat in the lower house. They are, in order on the ballot paper, Matt Gregg, Labor; Michael Sukker, Liberal; Jess Ness, Independent; Anne Cook, Pauline Hanson's One Nation; Richard Griffith Jones, Family First; Amy Mills, Greens; Milton Wilde, Trumpet of Patriots; Will Vandermeer, Libertarian. What are their policies and promises? The Bulletin takes a high-level look at the candidates vying for your vote across Manningham and Nillumbik. Major parties. The 2 parties most likely to form government are Labor and Liberal, so it is important to understand where they both stand on the big-ticket items that will affect us all. A swathe of election commitments has been put to the electorate in the form of fiscal policy, environment policy, infrastructure, health, education and defence. The Labor Party has 8 foundational platforms.
Helping with the cost of living.
This includes tax cuts for all, energy relief, wiping 20% off student loans, increasing bulk billing for GP visits, reducing the cost of pharmaceuticals, establishing more urgent care clinics, additional support for first home buyers, additional support for affordable childcare.
Building a future made in Australia.
This includes extending the free TAFE program, supporting the Buy Australian campaign and investing in renewable energy.
Protecting our climate.
A target of 82% renewable energy to the grid by 2030. Additional investment in renewable energy and low emissions technologies.
Creating opportunity through education.
This includes making the free TAFE program permanent, wiping 20% off student loans, providing subsidies for early education.
Strengthening Medicare.
This includes reducing the cost of visiting a GP, opening urgent care clinics, and endometriosis and pelvic pain clinics, reducing the cost of pharmaceuticals, training and scholarships for more doctors and nurses, and investing more than $790 million in women's health.
Building 1.2 million homes.
This includes 100,000 homes for first home buyers, expanding 5% deposits for all first home buyers, shared equity mortgages, investment in manufacturing technology to speed up construction on new homes.
Growing our economy.
This includes tax cuts, energy bill relief, changes to Medicare and the PBS, reducing student debt.
Securing Australia's place in the world.
This includes strengthening defence and trade agreements such as AUKUS and regional partnerships and relationships with traditional allies such as US, New Zealand, Canada, the UK and European Union, stabilising Australia's relationship with China. In their electorates, the Labor candidates have been out in the community over the past weeks. Gabrielle Ng, Menzies and Matt Gregg, Deakin, jointly made a commitment of $25 million to fund planning and early works for upgrades for the Five Ways intersection in Warrandyte South. Mr Ng also made a commitment for $50,000 to support the Manningham Asian Cultural Festival. At the announcement, Mr Ng said,
"The Manningham Asian Cultural Festival showcases the rich cultural heritage and traditions of Asian Australians in our community. I am proud to be supporting the continued successes of this festival that showcases local businesses and celebrates the contributions of Asian Australians to our community."
In Casey, Naomi Oakley said she is campaigning for crucial improvements to our local infrastructure and services, including improved internet and mobile phone connectivity, community batteries, accessible mental health services.
Beyond the local issues, we are faced with enormous global and nationwide challenges. Climate change requires us to be serious about the transition to renewables, and our housing crisis is rapidly becoming one of our most pressing social problems. In Canberra, I will vote for the environment, Medicare, education, and a housing policy that aims to build more homes and social housing,
Ms Oakley said. She said she will not vote for nuclear reactors, cutting Medicare and other social services, wholesale sacking of public servants. The Liberal Party says it has 12 priority policies to get Australia back on track.
Fight the cost of living pressure.
This includes reining in wasteful government spending, deliver cheaper energy through a balanced energy plan, including renewables, gas and nuclear, competition policy for supermarkets, increase work threshold for pensioners, boosting housing supply.
Build a stronger economy.
This includes accelerating approvals for mining projects by cutting red and green tape, negotiating new free trade agreements, support research and development in scientific and engineering businesses, investing in regional infrastructure.
Back small business.
This includes rolling back some industrial reforms around casual work, curtailing union militancy, cutting red and green tape for small businesses, reduce tax burden for business expenditure.
Deliver affordable and reliable energy.
This includes establishing a civil nuclear program in Australia, including operating nuclear power plants in 7 locations across the country. Unlock more Australian gas. Enable the responsible and sustainable growth of renewables. Avoid the overbuild of transmission lines and greenfield industrial solar and wind projects. Ensure retiring coal generation is replaced by reliable baseload energy.
Fix the housing crisis.
This includes boosting housing supply, fund essential infrastructure, reducing migration, a 2-year ban on foreign investors purchasing existing homes in Australia, allowing superannuation savings to be used for a deposit for first home buyers and older women, address supply chain constraints, ensuring an adequate number of skilled visas in the construction sector, cut red and green tape for home builders, restore the Australian Building and Construction Commission, maintain the Home Guarantee Scheme.
Rebalance our migration program.
This includes reducing the permanent migration intake by 25%, reducing the number of international students studying at metropolitan universities, securing our borders and our detention laws to keep violent criminals whose visas have been cancelled properly monitored and off the streets.
Keep Australians safe.
This includes increasing the defence budget, backing the defence industry sector, repairing strained relationships with allies such as Israel, and deepening relationships with AUKUS, Quad and Five Eyes, working closely with the Pacific and Southeast Asian neighbours, progressing AUKUS, collaborating with law enforcement to deliver coordinated and effective anti-crime measures, enhancing border security to stop people smuggling, tackling the prevalence of drugs in our community, protecting children, doubling funding for the Australian Centre to Counter Child Exploitation, making it illegal to post material glamorising violence, drug and property crimes.
Deliver quality healthcare.
This includes guaranteeing the growing funding of Medicare, addressing shortages of GPs, restoring Medicare for those suffering from mental health conditions, investing in cancer treatments and women's health services and cutting-edge medical research, supporting regional health worker initiatives, reduce unnecessary waste in the health bureaucracy, and support for access to medicines through community pharmacies.
Grow a stronger regional Australia.
This includes investing in regional infrastructure, supporting industries such as mining, logging and salmon farming, address regional workforce shortages, cut red and green tape.
Practical action for Indigenous Australians.
This includes boosting law and order in Indigenous communities, reintroducing the cashless debit card, undertaking an audit of all government programs and expenditure in Indigenous affairs, launching a Royal Commission into sexual abuse in Indigenous communities, provide more housing, empower Indigenous communities to use their land for economic development, provide practical solutions to improve health outcomes for Indigenous women and children,
build strong and sustainable communities,
focus on teaching young children the basics, improving the environments in which students learn, backing faith-based education, allowing parents greater awareness over what is being taught in the classroom, creating more apprentices and trainees, ensuring universities are focused on core academic instruction and research, rather than political agendas and overhauling their policies to tackle anti-Semitism on campus. Funding a sustainable aged care system. Addressing the root causes of homelessness. Ensuring the welfare system is fit for purpose. Supporting the arts and Australian cultural, sporting and recreational pursuits. Banning gambling advertising during the broadcast of live sport.
Cut government waste.
Including halting the growth of the Canberra-based public service. Delivering an efficient and responsive public service. Scrap symbolic and pointless appointments and programs. Cutting red and green tape that restricts business and increases the cost of living. Managing the budget to take pressure off inflation. Early in the election campaign, the Menzies and Deakin Liberal candidates, Keith Wolahan and Michael Sukkar, met Manningham Council's request for $5 million towards upgrading the Five Ways intersection in Warrandyte South. Elsewhere, Mr Wolahan made an election commitment for $187,500 to rectify a termite issue at the old Warrandyte Firehouse and $10 million toward the redevelopment of the Aquarina Leisure Centre in Doncaster. Both Chris Parr of Jaga Jaga and Jason McClintock of McEwen highlighted the cost of living measures the Liberal Party are putting forward, saying they will deliver most Australians up to $1,200 in tax relief when they lodge their tax return for the upcoming 2025 to 26 financial year, and that the petrol tax will be cut by 25 cents a litre, saving families with 2 cars approximately $1,500 a year. Mr Sukkar said he is passionate about our local area and the issues that concern local residents.
The best part of being a local representative is the opportunity to work with residents and community groups, and to have the opportunity to work through their issues from beginning to end. Since entering Parliament, I have advocated strongly for our community, fighting to deliver better outcomes for the people of Deakin. Locally, I remain particularly focused on improving our local infrastructure, improving community safety and supporting our local community and sporting groups.
Greens. The Australian Greens have candidates running in all 5 districts. The party's major policy points are fully funded health services, providing free GP visits and adding dental and mental health services to Medicare. Improving housing with rental caps and more public housing. Climate action. Taxing big corporations. Tackling the cost of living with a range of measures. The Greens Party is pitching a platform that there will be a minority government after May 3, and that more Greens on the crossbench will give the party more punch when working with Labor to progress policy on cost of living, climate change and housing. Casey candidate Merrin Blair said more Greens in Parliament will
keep Dutton out and get Labor to act.
Menzies candidate Bill Pheasant said,
With the Greens in minority government, we can move towards an inclusive community that values diversity over division. We can no longer tolerate the unfairness of a society where the wealthiest pay little or no tax, where the major parties' donors get special deals and unfair handouts, and where there is no accountability or consequences for unacceptable behaviour.
Amy Mills, candidate for Deakin, said,
From rent caps and affordable housing to tackling supermarket price gouging and ensuring free, accessible healthcare, I'm committed to creating a fairer future. I will work to stop new coal, gas and nuclear projects that threaten our environment and future generations. My leadership is built on integrity, kindness and collaboration to deliver meaningful change for Deakin. If you want change, you have to vote for it.
Independents. Independent candidates are running in Menzies, Jaga Jaga, Casey and Deakin. Stella Yee ran as the Labor nominee for Menzies against Kevin Andrews in 2019 and has been the editor of Manningham Life magazine since 2021. She told the Bulletin she wants to represent the community, not a party.
I understand what matters to us, the rising cost of living, the urgent need for affordable housing, climate action, protection of the environment and long overdue investment in our local infrastructure. I'm running to be a strong, independent voice in Parliament, someone who listens, acts and stays accountable to you. This election, Menzies is a marginal seat. That means your vote has power. Let's use it to demand better. Let's vote for someone who will work with the community and for the community every step of the way.
Jess Ness is running as an independent in the seat of Deakin. She said she will be the voice for balanced and forward-thinking policies.
I'm standing as a community-endorsed independent to bring thoughtful, practical leadership to Parliament, grounded in science, guided by evidence and driven by the needs and aspirations of the people I represent. With no party line to follow, I have the freedom to consider every bill on its merits and vote in the best interest of our community. I'll work cooperatively with everyone in government and across all levels of government to deliver long-term solutions, building local resilience, affordable housing and a well-planned transition to renewables that prioritises energy security and equity. I bring people together, centre the community in every decision and champion future-focused policy.
The independent for Casey is Claire Ferris-Miles. A long-term Upwey resident, Claire says she is running as an independent as an alternative to the major parties, which she says have failed the people of Casey. As an independent, I am free to speak up for what our community needs, not just toe the party line. The current independent MPs have shown us the positive impact they are achieving for their communities. Casey is my home, it's where my kids live. It's time for our voices to be heard in Canberra and for the people of Casey to have a seat at the table. If you vote the same, you get the same. This election, I'm offering Casey a better choice. Her website outlines her position on everything from tradies and healthcare to climate and AUKUS, which were developed in response to a report from Voices for Casey, a not-for-profit organisation aimed at enabling the Casey community's active participation in the democratic process and seeking the highest standards of political representation. 2 independent candidates are running in Jaga. Chris Kearney's policy aims cover climate change, cost of living, housing, taxation, and diversity and inclusivity. Chris told the Bulletin his policies stem from community input, not party headquarters.
They are built on conversations, feedback and direct input from over 400 people across our electorate who took part in our community surveys. I'm standing to represent the issues and ideas that matter to local people, not to toe a party line or follow directions from faceless figures far removed from our region. If elected, I'll continue listening. I'll consult directly with voters on how to vote on legislation in the House of Representatives, because the seat belongs to you, not to me.
As we go to print, the Bulletin is unable to find any information about Abdi Mohammed, other than he is a community leader. Other minor parties. There are a number of candidates from minor parties running across the 5 districts. Not all candidates responded to our questions. Trumpets of Patriots are running candidates across 3 of the districts we are covering. But the Menzies candidate, Amanda Paliaris, was the only candidate to respond. She told the Bulletin she has lived in Bulleen since 1984.
The major party candidates were small children when I purchased my home in Bulleen. It's not possible for these young men, without the lived experience, to fully understand how the Menzies electorate has changed over the last 40 years. Only a true local who has been a long-term resident for more than 40 years would fully appreciate how the 2 major parties have neglected the Menzies electorate.
She added,
cost of living measures start at home, at the local level. As a local private public swimming instructor in the Menzies electorate and a public health postgraduate researcher, I will always prioritise funding first for our small businesses in Menzies, including our local sporting clubs and local swimming schools, who have been neglected by the local councils and the major political parties in Menzies over decades.
In the seat of McEwen, we received a response from the Animal Justice Party, AJP, and Legalise Cannabis Party. Chloe Nicolosi of AJP said,
voters in McEwen should vote for me because I bring a fresh, compassionate perspective which is grounded in evidence-based policy and a deep commitment to justice for animals, people and the planet. I'm standing to end cruel practices and take serious and effective climate action through the expansion of ecological restoration and the elimination of fossil extraction, exports and subsidies. I support sustainable innovation and continue to advocate for improving the accessibility and affordability of vet care. I will fight for a kinder, fairer future and be a strong, principled voice for the McEwen community in Parliament.
Tom Forrest of the Legalise Cannabis Party said,
I'm running because I believe McEwen has potential for a brighter future. I'll work to grow rural jobs and support local agriculture, including legal cannabis production, manufacturing and supporting ancillary industries like transport, storage and packaging. I'll make sure our farmers and community have what they need to thrive. I know the cost of living is hitting hard for many families, and I'll push for practical solutions that actually ease the pressure. That means better services, more support for small businesses, and policies that make day-to-day life a little easier. I care deeply about the future we're building for our kids, and I want to see McEwen lead the way in creating a strong, sustainable future with real opportunity. I'm not here to play politics, I'm here to get things done for our region. If you want someone who'll show up, roll up their sleeves and work for McEwen, I'll be honoured to have your vote.
Your representative for the next 3 years. Remember, who you vote for will represent you in Canberra for the next 3 years. Between now and May 3, take the time to learn more about the candidates vying for your vote. For more information about the candidates in your district and the election process, visit aec.gov.au.